I'm in the action, chips on the table. I want the feel good, I need enough percentage. I want the win, lucky seven. Every time I walk in. You know, every time I walk in, I'm the best thing, I'm the best thing. They all watch it. Every time we walk in, we the best thing.
Hi guys, good afternoon. Thank you so much for taking the time to join our live today. My name is Zeina El-Sherif and I'm a field education trainer with Wella Professionals. Thank you so much to Modern Beauty Supply for hosting us again. We absolutely love doing lives with you guys. And today we're going to be sharing Nioxin tips for styling fine hair. And Emily Baker is going to come on with me. But before I let her in, if you guys have any questions during the live today, feel free to add them into the question cards at the bottom. We absolutely love answering your questions, so don't be shy. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Emily?
I'm good, thanks.
I'm so
So,
excited that we're doing a live together.
me too. This is crazy. I was saying the same thing. So I'm Emily Baker. I'm a field signature artist with Wella Nioxin, and we're going to be doing all styling tips for fine hair. And it's really cool because August is Hair Loss Awareness Month. So I don't know if everyone's aware of that. But so it's been fun. There's been a lot of stuff going on with Nioxin, and I'm really excited. This is my first time on with Modern Beauty Supplies, and I'm really excited to share my tips with you.
I think it's
So,
pretty cool that all of August is Hair Loss Awareness Month because hair loss is definitely a common issue that we see with both men and women. So I think it's really
yeah.
great to address those issues.
Well, did you know that it's one in every five,
Wow, that's
right,
really
behind the
common.
chair? So that's huge. And a lot of people, just are self-conscious and they don't want to say anything about it, right? So I think by us recognizing it is such a big deal.
Yeah, I think sometimes clients just maybe don't know how to start that conversation too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to adjust my camera here. So I'm just going to be showing some styling tips today. As you can see, I've done half of the mannequin here. But before we get into too much of the styling, I want to talk about the bread and butter of Nioxin, and that's the system kit.
All right, let me pull that up there. Here we go. Oh,
So this is kind of, if you want to think about your facial skin, your scalp skin is an extension of your face. Okay, so we need to take care of our scalp skin like we take care of our facial skin. Okay, because that's over time, your scalp skin is going to age. Okay, you're going to experience some hair loss, and also your pores on your scalp will get plugged up. Okay, so with our system kits, we have three-part system here. Okay, so we've got our cleanser, our scalp therapy, and our scalp treatment. So just an easy way to look at this is you usually have, when you cleanse your face, you usually have a cleanser, a moisturizer, and a toner. The only thing you're doing different with your scalp is you're switching your moisturizer and toner. You're going to do moisturizer first and then toner at the end. So that's really the only difference. We have 6 systems. So really it's our most popular are 3 and 5. I know Zeina has number 3 up there and we have 5. And the difference between those two is this is going to be somebody who wants more moisture in their hair, and system number 3 is going to be somebody who wants more volume, but they're both color treated. So I think to study this a little bit more would be to go on the Nioxin app because everything is on there
mhm.
to determine which kind of system you want, because there is 6, and if you don't get the right one, you might not love it so much, if that makes sense.
But really, like every system kit is either for normal thinning or noticeably thinning. So I think that makes it a bit easier to kind of diagnose which kit is best for your clients. Really the only difference is like each kit comes with, like Emily was saying, a cleanser for the scalp, a conditioner for the scalp, and a scalp treatment. So one for normal thinning is going to be more of a spray, and the other one for noticeably thinning is going to be a foam. So if your client has more noticeably thinning hair, they're going to benefit more from a foam rather than the spray. Because if you think about it, if you spray someone who has barely any hair, it might kind of start dripping down on them, go in their eyes maybe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and the other thing I wanted to call out with the scalp treatment is sometimes if it does run and get on the skin, it does go red. That doesn't mean you're having an allergic reaction, because people think they're having an allergic reaction, but it's just bringing the blood flow to the surface, right? So, it's, and so that's what's really good about that.
So it's really
But
stimulating the scalp, right, Emily?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. You want to think of it as like a deep follicle cleanse. Okay, so you're cleansing your hair follicles when you're using a system kit. Okay, we'll
Something I
get
want
in.
to point out too, which is
Yeah,
some people don't realize, is with the Nioxin kits, the conditioner actually goes on the scalp. Because I know people with fine hair aren't used to putting conditioner kind of all over their scalp for fear of it weighing it down or whatever. But the Nioxin system kit conditioners are actually designed to go on your scalp. That's right, right, Emily?
absolutely, absolutely. So I think a lot of people with fine hair are afraid of their hair going flat, but it's really, really important to moisturize the scalp. But I'm going to show you guys just a quick tip for blow drying. Obviously, we're not going to turn the blow dryer on because we can't do that on an Instagram live. It's too loud. But anyway, I find that we have to be really, really fragile when it comes to styling fine hair. So when we're styling fine hair, we have to make sure that we're really taking the integrity of the hair into consideration and the way the client feels about it, right? So basically when I'm round brushing the hair, I make sure it's about 80 to 90% dry first, so I'm not pulling the hair. And then I'm going to take my round brush and just sort of place it in like so. So instead of, like, the tendency we have is to go to the ends and then pull and pull and pull. And this is a mannequin, so I can show you that, like where we want to pull and get that hair as smooth as possible. What's really important is that when we're doing this, we don't want to have the pulling technique. So we want to bring the heat all the way to the ends and wrap, if you guys can see. So we want to wrap, unwrap, wrap, and then unwrap, right? And so that's kind of how we're going to create the smoothing in the hair without pulling it. Just a quick tip there.
So you're pulling less on those ends there, right, Emily?
Yes, yeah. And I just turned the blow dryer on. Did you hear that? That was an accident.
I was wondering what that was.
I am using my GHD Helio. So this dryer's incredible. One thing I do like about these tools, especially working on fine hair, is they don't go really hot. The tools don't heat up past 365 degrees. So you're not hurting the integrity of the hair, and it's getting the job done fast. So I just wanted to point that out quickly. So I'm going to show you guys. Yeah,
We just have a question here.
absolutely.
Does putting conditioner all over the scalp make it flat?
No, it doesn't actually. Because of the way the systems are designed, the conditioner is very, very lightweight and not heavy. And it has the peppermint extract in it, and it's going to clean and moisturize the scalp. And it's for volumizing. So you're definitely not going to have flat hair after you use that, if that answers the question.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Emily.
Yeah, and it's important to follow the 3 steps if you really want to see, the change in your hair.
And how long
Okay.
does it take typically?
Well, if you are going to wash your hair every single day, you should see a difference in 30 days. But if you're only going to wash your hair like every other day, then you'll see a difference in 60 days.
Oh, so it doubles your time.
Yeah. I see my friend Genta on here. Hi, Genta.
Hi, Jenta.
Anyway, so I'll just show a quick tip with, but before I get into the next step, I want to talk about Diamax.
Oh,
Do you have a slide for that? Because that is, yeah, this product is amazing, guys. I call this like liquid gold, okay? So this is basically going to, if you think about putting on a lip plumper, I know you guys can get some of those lipsticks that plump your lips a little bit. This is kind of going to plump up your hair. So it's going to make you feel like you have a lot more hair right away. It's a treatment, not a product. So it's going to treat the hair as well as create fullness everywhere. So this is going to work right away, and it's going to work up to 8 hours, and you can reapply it the next day. The way it comes out, it squirts out in like a fan effect. So you actually don't need that much product. I'm not going to physically spray it out right now because it'll be a little wet on the mannequin, but when you're spraying it, you're literally going to just section the hair and spray about 2 inches away, and it sprays in that fan effect. So you usually only need about 8 pumps for the whole head, if that makes sense.
You're going to put this on when the hair is wet.
When the hair's wet, okay? So this, guys, is honestly a staple for Nioxin. It's just one thing that's really cool for a lot of men who are receding in the crown area. I've tested this puppy out a few times because I'm like, oh, okay, let me just see how this works, right? And especially at some of the big shows that I've done, I was like, this better work. And it's performed every time. So I sprayed it on a man that was receding in the crown, and I literally saw his hair fill in. Like, I was like, this is amazing. So it is amazing for men, for women. And that's what I want to point out is Nioxin's for men too. Like, this is huge, right? So
Genta says, we tried it yesterday and it's awesome.
great. Yeah, actually, I went to Toronto yesterday. Genta is an influencer I worked with this month for hair loss awareness. And I went to Toronto yesterday to style her hair for a photo shoot. So that was really, really fun. So I got to meet her in person. You know, it's kind of cool when you get to meet your Instagram friends in person, right?
Callie Mai says, Nioxin is amazing. So glad I added it to my hair routine.
Amazing.
Yay. And I guess that's the thing with Nioxin. It's a routine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you guys can see here, I'm going through with my micro crimper, and I'm actually just taking the micro crimper and just crimping the root area. Because the teeth are so fine, it's not going to look like the hair's crimped. It's just going to make the hair feel a little bit fuller on top. So I do that with a lot of bridal hair, or when I'm prepping for updos, just to create a little bit more volume without having to back comb too much. Right? So because this is a hot tool, I know that we talked about how important this is, especially because we're both blonde, Zeina, and using hot tools is Therm Active Protector Spray.
Oh, yes.
So that's a good one as well.
Oh, yeah. So did you put this in her hair when her hair was
did.
Wet?
Yeah. So you want to apply it when it's wet. So I did Diamax at the root, and then I did Therm Active Protector Spray on the ends. So, and then blow dried. And that's going to protect it from the heat. So you really need some kind of heat protection. Fine hair definitely does. Even if their hair isn't overly blonde or compromised, it's still important to have that protection in there, especially for fine hair.
Mains by Meg Tap says, great tip.
Oh, good. So you can see it's created just a little bit more volume, right? So we've got that volume in there. I created some wave on the side. And now, so one of the reasons why I think, and Zeina, you and I talked about this, how important it is to create volume here rather than up here, right? And that reason is because if you are drawing any sort of attention to up here into the scalp area, that's all people are going to see, right? So you kind of want to focus on building weight in the mid shaft and ends, right? And then that way in the back, the hair won't appear hollow, right? So just a quick tip for that. But just to create that, I'm just going to brush this out here. What I did use was my GHD oval wand.
Nice.
Pausing, sorry guys, my screen keeps going black.
That's weird. Michelle's was doing that too. I don't know why.
Yeah, that hasn't happened before in a live, but that's okay. We'll just keep me on my toes. So there we go. So I'll add, so this is what the oval looks like, okay? And it's nice because it just gives you a light wave. So we'll just toss in a couple more waves.
So Emily, did you, when you were doing your crimping, did you leave some hair on top that wasn't crimped to like veil over? Is that what I saw you doing there? Yes.
So you just really leave a really thin section on the top just so that you don't necessarily see the crimping. Because then that veil just kind of covers it over. Even if you do see it, it just looks like a really soft texture. It doesn't look like crimping anyway.
That's a great way to add volume.
Absolutely.
I haven't tried that
Absolutely.
before. I'll have to try that.
So again, this is incredible. So you just kind of wrap this, and I'm just kind of building weight on the mid shaft and ends to create that fullness through the hair. There we go.
Okay, so we just have a question here, Emily.
Yeah.
I was told shampooing your hair every day is unhealthy.
Okay.
So it's more of a,
So
so is that true?
actually, the answer is no.
Okay.
Okay. So there's neither right or wrong because I know a lot of hairstylists are wash their hair a couple times a week or they recommend not washing it every day. But I just think that if you have some issues with fine hair, the more that you wash it, the better it's going to be, right? Because we don't wash our facial skin once a week, right? So it's not bad because these products, the thing that's bad about washing your hair every day is if you're going to hot tools every day, because
Okay.
that's what's going to damage it, right? Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
So it's really your preference, but I just think if you want the product to work a lot faster, then you definitely want to shampoo a little bit more often.
So I guess if you wash your hair every day and then in 30 days you're going to see results. If you're a once a week washer, that really extends when you're going to start seeing results.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
We
I
just
think
finished.
the great thing with the system kits too is it really removes that sebum and it really preps the scalp for like a good environment for the hair to grow properly as well.
Absolutely. And actually I don't think I have do you have did you get exfoliator yet? Did you get the new
Exfoliate.
exfoliator?
No, I have not.
Me neither. So we're launching a new product in the fall, and it's going to be the step kind of to the step before your system kit. So it's your exfoliator, which is amazing because a lot of times we have, extra flaky skin that we need to kind of get rid of. And what the exfoliator is going to do is prep the scalp skin so that the system kit's going to be able to penetrate deeper into the hair follicle. So that's pretty exciting. That's going to be launched in the fall. So I'm waiting to get that in the mail. I'm sure you are too.
I am. So,
Yeah.
Emily, would that be a great solution, I guess, for someone with psoriasis or someone with like a flaky scalp? Like, is that kind of what you would recommend for that?
Well, what we have to think of is psoriasis is internal. So psoriasis is something that's going on in the body. So it's not necessarily, Nioxin isn't going to fix that problem, but it might be helpful. But my recommendation is that is to go and get a scalp renew done first. So a scalp renew is an on-scalp facial that we offer that is a really deep follicle cleanser. So we were saying, the system kits are cleansing the follicles, but this is doing it even on a deeper level. And you can only get that done in salon, and you can only get it done every 30 to 45 days. So
I've had the scalp renew done on my scalp before, and my scalp just feels so good afterwards. Feels so clean. It's almost like when you get a facial and your skin just feels so nice afterwards.
yeah, and
Everything's all cleared out.
and I think when people start realizing it's the same skin, you just don't think it is because you're just thinking hair the whole time, right? But so we're just going to kind of comb this out a little bit. So we just created a little bit of fullness, right? Just kind of comb that out a little bit. And we're just going to get into some of the hairsprays here, the Nio spray. Absolutely love it. The styling products are so complementary to this line because there's no heavy silicones in them. They're not going to plug up the scalp skin. So my recommendation is if you're having these issues, stick with the styling line as well as the system kit. And one thing I want to point out though is Nioxin isn't just for people who are having a thinning problem. It's a preventative, right? So I don't have a major thinning issue right now, but this is my go-to shampoo I've used for the last 8 years, right? And it's just because I want a healthy scalp environment.
Emily, we just have another question here.
Sure.
What's the difference between a conditioner and a mask, and should we use them every time we shampoo?
You mean for Nioxin or just in general?
I think she means for Nioxin. I'm
Okay.
going to assume for Nioxin.
Okay. So the difference between the two, the conditioner is still going to do a lot of conditioning to your ends, but the mask is going to do a little bit more repairing, right? So I often find that I need a little bit more repairing. So I might use a system kit and have step number 2 on my regrowth, and then put the treatment on my ends at the same time, just for a little bit more extra conditioning.
Okay, so you're still putting the conditioner on your scalp when you're using the mask.
100%. Because I
Okay.
don't want to skip that step, right? But sometimes I just need a little bit more because I do color my hair, right? Now, thank God, Blonde Orplex is out, so
Okay.
we can use that and not worry about our hair as much, but I still want to take care of it, right?
So in this case, because typically when we use masks, they're in place of our conditioner, but in the
Yeah,
Nioxin world, the conditioner is never replaced. It always goes on your scalp, and the mask is just going to go on your ends.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah, no problem.
Nick
I
says
don't,
he's used Nioxin for the last 10 years.
that's why his hair looks so good.
I know, he has so much hair.
So I don't know if you guys notice, like, even the color placements on these mannequins. You also have to take into consideration the colors you're using and the color placement. And we actually, Nioxin has coloring principles that hopefully Zeina and I will be able to come back and share with you. We'd like to plan another live and do that. So, and show you some coloring techniques for fine hair. But you can see again, it's drawing the eye to the mid shaft and ends. This is a balayage, right? So that's going to draw the eye here to the lightness. The way I describe it is, if you're in a white room, it's very open and it feels big and it feels airy. But if you're in a dark room, you really feel, it feels small, right? So that's the way I look at it with fine hair. If we are drawing the eye here, we want to keep the lightness there to really open it up.
That makes a lot of sense. Yvonne says she loves the colors.
Thanks, Yvonne. So I'm just gonna Zeina and I are gonna keep talking here about some of the products, but I'm gonna do a quick little updo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Emily, we have another question here. Sorry, before
Yeah.
we continue there. Does conditioning on the scalp cause hair fall?
Cause hair to fall?
Fall, yeah. Does conditioning on the scalp cause hair fall?
No, 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 no. Because our scalps really need the moisturizing. And I think a lot of people are afraid to use conditioner because they're afraid of those kinds of things. But we really, like, our scalps really need the moisture. It's like if we never put cream on our face, right? Like it would just be really dry. So it's really just finding, and that's why Nioxin is really just designed for fine hair. So it's really, really important to get that on the scalp for the 3-part system.
Great.
I find that's a common question, actually, Zeina. Which is interesting.
Yeah. I think it's just people who just aren't used to putting conditioners on their scalp.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
kind of just relearning a habit.
yeah, agreed, agreed. Do we want to talk, you put the hairspray up already? Great. So do we want to talk Lightplex and Pro Thick while I'm going to be working on some of the products here?
Sure, yeah. So Nioxin has 2 different kind of parts to their styling line. So they have Pro Thick and Lightplex, and Pro Thick is really about making the hair feel thicker, giving it that body, giving it, I guess, a bit more texture even with some of the products, right, Emily?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing's too sticky. I find nothing's too like gritty. And then the Lightplex products are all about having like conditioning agents. It really works on the inside of the hair and the outside of the hair to really moisturize and condition all of that hair as well, and kind of repair too. So Lightplex is more of your repairing side, and none of that's too heavy either. And I think the name says it all, Lightplex.
It's funny. We were doing a show. Obviously, there's no shows right now, but when we were doing a show, I think it was in Edmonton or Calgary, and I just lost my train of thought completely.
That's okay.
Oh, this is what I was going back to. It wasn't Edmonton or Calgary. It was a show in LA, actually. And we had a Nioxin segment stage, and we were working on men's hair. And I remember I was applying the product, like, because we had to keep doing takes and sets. And I would apply the product at least 10 times, and I could still get my hands through the hair. Like, I was like amazed.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's so funny that I just lost my train of thought.
Okay, we just have a comment here. Hey,
Yeah.
Emily, after you spoke with my class for our college, I have recommended Nioxin to my mother. She always complains about her fine hair. And that is from Cheyenne Vogel Hairstyling.
Oh, okay. So that's great. So how is she liking it? Is she noticing a difference? I wonder if she's noticing a difference. That's awesome.
Yeah, tell us more.
I love that. That's fantastic. So I'm just
So
kind
what
of
do you
putting
do?
so I'm just putting a tiny bit of backcombing. So you don't want to like tease the crap out of the hair because again, you're going to cause breakage. So I'm really just kind of like cushioning the hair a little bit. So just kind of like cushioning it in a little bit and creating a little volume up here, up top. And I'm just going to go in with my Nio spray, but I'm going to use my regular hold that has the light plex. So it's conditioning. I can spray it a bunch of times and it's a workable spray. So I would use this hairspray when I'm working my updos and then switch over to the extra hold, okay, which is this one here, the strong hold, okay, and that is Pro Thick. So this is going to really seal the updo in. So I like to work with both. So the working one and then the Pro Thick, okay?
Great. Emily, we just have a question here.
Yeah.
Does wearing a hat cause hair fall?
I get this question. Um, definitely not. That's a myth. Okay. So I think a lot of men worry about this. Oh, I must have worn my hat. That's why but absolutely not. You're good to go. Like you're good. If you're having issues, I have like a lot of young men too that get the kits just as a preventative. So I recommend it just as a preventative even for someone young, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's
So
good to know that a hat doesn't cause baldness. Great to know.
Absolutely.
Genta says, I wear hats a lot and haven't lost hair. So that's good.
Yeah, Genta always wears hats.
Loves hats.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and it doesn't cause hair loss, but like I have heard this from other men and stuff. So
oh, I think Emily is frozen. Quite a bit. Oh, I think we lost Emily, you guys. Okay, let's give her a few minutes to come back. Cheyenne says, I know the heat protection has helped her quite a bit. Been switching her over slowly. Oh, that's good. So she's been using the Therm Active Protection. It's great that your mom's been trying Nioxin. I'm sure she'll eventually be fully switched over when she sees how good the results are going to be. All right, I think we're connecting. Ah, there you are.
I don't know what's going on today.
Technology.
You know what? It's funny because you learn every time you do a live, right? And for some reason the screen keeps going black, but you continue. You keep working, right?
You know what? That's happened with me and Michelle so many times. Maybe I'm just cursed because it seems to happen
I
when I'm
don't
hosting.
think so.
So what are you doing there, Emily?
So all I did was I just kind of split this down the middle. I'm doing like a very fast sort of updo. So I feel like we need to be more time efficient in the salon too, because we spend all this time like setting the hair and taking all this time like layering product in the hair. And what we really have to do is make sure that we're getting these people out and it's efficient. If we're doing a bridal party, a special occasion styling, right? So I basically split this into two, and I did some back combing in the wave section, just a little bit. I'm just kind of cushioning that curl and showing that curl off, and that's going to expand the hair too and make it a little bit fuller, right? So that's what we're trying to create here, is a lot more fullness. And I'm just going to kind of twist that in here, if you guys can see. And when I'm inserting my pins, I don't open up my pins, okay? I leave them as is. And I just kind of like move them around and up in the hair. And if you have enough like back combing in there, you can see it'll stay. So I should really only need, if I have the right amount of fat, I really should only need a couple pins to hold this in place. So I'm just going to go through with the regular hold again.
Sejal says, hi, Em.
Oh, hi, Sage. That's awesome. Sage was one of my students at Georgian College. I was a teacher at a beauty college for a couple months before I started working this job. And I still keep in touch with all the students. I just love them. So it's really sweet. So there we go. So I'm just going to leave that a little bit loose here on the bottom so you can see how fast this is. Pull the top out a little bit like so. And one thing we haven't showed you, we're going to save this actually. I'm going to bring this up now, is instant fullness. Zeina, do we have a slide for that?
Yes. My personal favorite products from Nioxin.
Cleanser, okay. Amazing product. This is like phenomenal. So this product is, I use this all the time. Even after I blow dry my own hair, I don't wait till it's dirty to use it. I just use it for style. This gives you so much more fullness, and it gives you 2 times the fullness instantly. So even if you can carry, we have a smaller size too that people carry around in their purse because they just want a little bit more fullness through the day, right? So Maggie, same.
I love fullness. It's my personal favorite from Nioxin.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just spray some of that in here. And again, I like to layer a little bit of product in there when I'm working on an upstyle. Just keep this at the root area. You guys can see.
What's really great about instant fullness is it kind of gives a cooling sensation on the scalp. I don't know if you already said that, Emily, but kind of makes your scalp feel really like nice and kind of cool and clean, and it makes your hair not feel gritty, which is really great. Because I know a lot of dry shampoos feel like there's something in your hair and it feels kind of like a little bit gritty. This feels like there's nothing in your hair.
It's amazing. Honestly, guys, it's amazing. I'm going to take this whole section in one sweep and pin that back. So just leave some loose pieces out there.
Ooh, that's cute with her fringe.
Cute, eh?
Yeah, I love it.
I find like a fringe really helps too. Like, there's going to be a live later today with Maggie Melrose on the Toronto studio, and she's going to be talking to somebody about postpartum and hair loss. And I find that that's a big thing for women. Like after they have a baby, they have all that really short hair that's all around the front of their face. So a fringe is always the best way to really create more fullness around the face. So that kind of like will help that, right? So it's really big with doing that. So yeah, you guys don't want to miss Maggie Melrose, but she's not on till 6 p.m. So she's going to be on with an influencer today. So that'll be fun. Toss that in. So you guys can see, like, it's so simple. I really only used 2 or 3 sections. We're going to do 1 section on the other side, and that's it.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, just really quick, right? Any other questions there, Zeina?
I was just about to say. Okay, we do have another question here. Does Nioxin grow hair? That's a really good question.
Oh, wow, that's a good one. So this, I want to make sure I'm explaining this properly, but Nioxin does not actually have anything in it that is like a Rogaine. So it's not going to grow your hair back. The reason why your hair grows back with Nioxin is because the follicles are getting a deep cleanse. So if you think about it, if your hair follicles, you don't wash every day, you have extra oils on your scalp, you have environmental residue that plugs it up, you've got styling products that plug it up, right? So what happens is because Nioxin is going in and really cleaning that out, that's where you're going to see the hair growth, right? Because where this tiny hair couldn't squish out, now it can squish out, right? So that's what we have to be careful in saying. It's not saying that it's going to grow your hair back. It doesn't have ingredients in there that does that, but it's a follicle cleanser, and that's why your hair grows, and that's why we see the improvement. Because a lot of people don't realize that simply they have sebum buildup or they have really clogged up follicles, right? So the other thing that's key about Nioxin is these products are tested by dermatologists for the skin. So that's huge. Like we also are I want to say it's 17 years in a row that we've won the Stylist Choice Awards for Best Thinning Brand. And we also are the most popular retail thinning brand as well that you can buy in the salon. So and again, we have been around for decades. So this did start with Eva Graham way back in the day and her just experimenting with skincare on the scalp. And that's kind of like how this happened, right? So you can see that it speaks for itself, right? Anyway, I went in a little further with that question, but I'm really passionate about it. So
That's really great, Emily. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thanks for answering that.
You're welcome. How are we for timing, Zeina?
We are doing great. I think because you're just wrapping up here anyway.
Yeah, I'm just wrapping up.
You're doing great for time.
We're just going to pin up the last section and then I'll just show you guys. My screen's going black again.
I don't know why.
I don't either. That's okay.
It's the curse.
Yes, exactly. It's the curse. Too many people are using it, right? Right. So yeah, it's just like a really loose kind of tousled updo, and the fringe really makes the hair appear fuller. So this is just something that's really, I mean, fringes are hot right now anyway, but it just really makes everything appear so much fuller. It's such a great go-to if you just want that fullness right in the front of the hair. So I do actually, on my Instagram, have a lot of classes that I've already pre-done for Nioxin, and one of them was tips and tricks of styling, and some of them are just basically on how to use the product knowledge, Diamax, everything like that. So please follow me.
I put your Instagram up there, Em.
Yeah, thank you. You're so good with the photos. Look at you.
Nick says you guys are legends. Aww.
Nick's too nice.
I think Nick's the legend.
Thanks, Nick. I think he's kind of got a little bit more on us. Anyway, but yeah, so I think like a call to action would be, guys, is really just download the app because it's really helpful. Like the Nioxin app is going to give you tips on everything. You're going to be able to go through the product knowledge and find everything. I think this is really awesome that Modern Beauty Supplies is doing this, letting us take over their Instagram. Mm-hmm. That's been amazing.
Yeah, it really has been. So we got to thank Modern Beauty Supply for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully Zeina and I are going to be able to get on here soon again and do some more Nioxin stuff.
Yes, we would love to do a coloring one for Nioxin.
Yeah, I think it'd be really great to do the principles of color and work on that as well. So you guys really understand fine hair. So
stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
Do you have any last words, Emily?
I think that's it for today, Zine. Anything for you?
That's it. I put our Instagrams up there. Be sure to give Emily a follow. Emily Baker, hair artist. Wella Canada West, and I'm Z Hair Warrior. Make sure to tune in next week. So I'll be back with Nichelle next Wednesday, same time, same place. we're going to be showing the new Bellini shades from Color Touch. So I'm really excited about that. And that's about it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We were so excited to do this. Me and Emily couldn't wait to do a live together.
Well, because we've actually known each other quite a long time because we go back to Trend Vision.
Yes.
Right?
What
So
year
you
was
just
that?
never know. That was 2014.
2014 when Emily won Trend Vision.
But you know what? It was funny because you just never know where you're going to go with the company, which has been really amazing, right? And now we get to work together, even though you're in the West and I'm in the East.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye, guys.